This is the January 5th Board of Education Workshop meeting. The whole board is here. They're seated. The superintendent's here, so we have started recording. This is your agenda for tonight's meeting. What you see here under item 3, call to order, invocation, so forth, that is the agenda for next week's meeting. They're discussing it tonight to see what they may need to do about next week. Have a discussion, talk about it, see if they got questions, get the questions answered, and that kind of thing. And then you see here they will have tonight Superintendent Craig Matthews will brief them on things, and then they will have a closed session to discuss personnel and property. Georgia Sunshine Law allows you to close a meeting for personnel, property, and pending litigation. That would be attorney-client privilege. There are a couple of other things that you're allowed to close a meeting for, but they never come up in a local government meeting. Those are for state boards and things like that. So there's your agenda. You see what we got here. And we will be starting the meeting in just a few minutes, but again, the whole board is here seated, so we are now recording.
I know, but it's not a lot, so.
Well, I just had submitted, because I know I have to make another change later, so you have to go ahead and get them over.
It was just there's a $250 change on the classified insurance lower, because they're doing 4 months at the old rate instead of 3.
I had a sticky note actually about insurance.
There you go, see, you think what?
Yeah.
So, but I fixed it, and also, Mr. Cushion doesn't take insurance, so I took that off of there too.
Okay.
Because I didn't want you having that, but
Okay.
I was gonna bring a hat and throw it in first. Did you go eat with? What'd you eat for lunch? I got coffee late because I didn't have deal.
Sir? Yeah, it's handy, keeps my head warm.
Turkey sausage one.
That's the purpose.
It was vegan.
Tuesday week, 8 days.
The reds are good.
You're retired? We're gonna talk about.
Who said anything about retirement?
I know.
Said turkey. I know I saw the Browns the other day. Last Thursday, Browns, I was sorry.
We all had.
What was afternoon, I have to go back to work.
I'm like, last Saturday, because the shrub, so we went this Saturday, you know.
Because when you did, she said, wait a minute.
I did tell her the other day, guys.
Well, I did mine, so,
Good luck, Mr. Baker.
Thank you, ma'am, I appreciate
right.
it.
And when is it?
8 days.
Tuesday, not tomorrow, but next Tuesday.
And they only do one now, don't they?
That's all I need done. Hi, John. This needs great.
Get it done before that he messes up.
Well, this one won't mess up. This one I had another operation when I was a teenager, and they took it apart and did it, put it all back in there. So it's worn out from that.
Sounds like some of mine's repairs.
Yeah.
Joey needs one.
Take some apart and have pieces
Now,
left.
leftover parts. Yeah. What do you do with this?
It's gonna be full of fire test.
I hope to be.
Them quick. When's your surgery?
Tuesday the 13th.
The 13th?
Stop it, John.
It's a good
We don't
thing.
live, we live by faith,
We do
not
not
by
suffer from triskaidekaphobia.
superstition. Hey, John.
Good evening, everybody.
Hey, Mr. Sims, how you, sir?
Today is a good day.
I seen the emails, right?
Who you got on?
I feel like Casey's gonna win, but I won't say that. Cause I'm a old, Montana is not one play.
It's not got for them.
Yes, it is.
But it's. I do too, That's like I can see it. That's why you gotta Travis. So the school board.
I'm okay, I'm over here, I can't cheer for 49ers, I don't care if it's playing the Russians.
I'm making sure, I'm doing okay. Are you okay?
No, I just wanted to be a good man to come out to.
Well, that's why I'm here. Because I got an email.
Yeah, that's it, okay. And that's it?
That's it. If San Francisco wins, I ain't like it.
I'll survive, I just won't be happy about it for a little while.
I'll go in the morning.
Temperature dropped.
That is not
It is 6 o'clock, we will ready to get started. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'd ask Mr. Matthews if he would lead us in invocation and pledge allegiance.
God, we love you, and just thank you for all the blessings that you give us. We thank you for the rain, those that need it for their winter crops, and just thank you for all the other blessings. Be with us now at this meeting, lead and guide us. In Jesus' name, we pray. Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
In reviewing our proposed agenda for next week's regular meeting, after our call to order and invocation pledge of allegiance, we will approve our agenda, and then we will have some student and staff presentations. Matthews, will you tell us about that?
Yes, sir. Happy to have the Star Student, Star Teacher Award to recognize private board and introduce you to those. We look forward to that. Mr. Clark is out. That's all. But he will be here and he will introduce them to you. We also have some, special education department recognition. Some really hard work is taking place for these two things to happen, and we want to just highlight that and tell you a little bit about, what we've done to be considered, in compliance for both of those. We'll tell you about the Rural Workforce Preparedness Grant that we submitted through the Chamber of Commerce sponsors this program, and Mr. Dorman took the lead on that and submitted. We'll be telling you all about that. Recently we had Georgia School Accreditations done. This time around it was a little more, in-depth than it has been in years past. All of our schools will have their accreditation. We've received elementary school and high school back. We're waiting. We had to resubmit one thing to the Mr. Dr. What's his name? Corny. Dr. Corny for the middle school. We just need to see one more certification, so we have to submit that. We anticipate getting that back. All indications from him is that it's looking good. He's just been out of town on some personal business and had a chance to review and get it back to us. And then we'll have public participation. Excuse me, I'm jumping in.
That's okay. Anybody have any questions about the students? Public participation, do we have any scheduled?
Well, I would have said no until about 3 minutes ago, and I just was checking my phone, and I saw one pop up, the email for public participation popped up, so we anticipate having one.
Items requiring board action as recommendation from the superintendent. Minutes. Kind of go through, anybody have any questions or comments, please stop me. Approval of the December, 2023 financial statement.
Everybody can see those?
Yes. Approval of the SPOS budget. Approval of the county plant reconciliation. Approval of HR recommendations.
Yes, sir, we'll discuss that later on tonight in executive session.
Number 6 is approval of Samuel Mastrario as the second representative of the Board of Education on the Victoria Evans Memorial Library Board. Would you explain to me how that came about, or explain to us how that came about?
Yes, the Victoria, Evans Memorial Library Board, changed some of the bylaws with that, changed representation from the different entities who appoint people to the boards, and the school board picked up the second representative, on the library board. With that, this is a transition time, so it would be best if somebody who was already serving on the board would come over and be our representative until that tenure is up. And, they recommended that it be, Mr. Mastrario, which I thought was a good choice, and as we discussed last meeting, we're putting that on the agenda for your approval tonight. Next week.
Okay. Any questions? We have an overnight trip, the middle school student council state conference at Rock Eagle in Eatonton, February 21st and 23rd.
Yes, sir. Our middle school student council is going up there for a state conference, and they've been in the past, and I think maybe COVID stopped it a couple of years, but we have a good group of students that are going, and Ms. Wilson, Mr. Clemens, and Mr. Cushing will be serving as chaperones and advisors for that trip.
And our first reading of policy QQE wellness program.
Yes, this is our board policy E, and, we were required to make some changes in it, and mainly it's just some wording in there, so you can see that it's been, redlined, and struck through the things that need to be replaced with red font. Mainly the School Food Authority, SFA, which is language used throughout this document. The determine that, and that is our school nutrition director, Mr. Gomez. But it are also some additional requirements that we have to have in our wellness policy. So this is presented to you and, as a first reading. One of the largest changes is on the next to last page of this document, the triennial progress assessments, which is something that, has to be done now, and you'll see these are our guidelines, for that assessment.
Questions, comments?
On the, Georgia Fund one account, do we expect to continue to see the same 16,000 interest monthly until, or that just average? It seems it's like 16,000 average and so forth. Is that what we expect for the duration of the?
That's just based off the current interest rate, and that is for, one of our accounts, that $3.5 million is invested. And then you see the other one though, that has the larger amount of money, and it actually, the interest from one month to the other changed a little bit, and I think that's due to our balance in that account changing a little bit, so. That's
Where's that document, the other account?
Yeah, it's on the next page.
Maybe this one.
The building fund,
So it's inside.
That should be like 57,000 and 60, maybe 60,000 interest.
The Middle High Building Fund Budget Summary FY 24, the second page of that.
it's right behind the building fund. Not here.
Okay. I guess I was just expecting what we did.
Just two different accounts, because one is our local money and one is our bond money that we invest in. We were keeping all that.
Our local money is the Georgia fund, our local money is the Georgia fund, and the other is the bond.
Right.
Is that right?
Right,
That's
two different accounts.
opposite?
They're in, they're
No,
both
they're
invested in Georgia Fund One, but it's just two different accounts. The
Okay,
$3.5 million
What I'm
is a
saying is
local.
the larger amount is,
But this accounts for both of them. This overall summary includes both Georgia Fund accounts, is that, or am I not? I guess it's more confusion, does this tabulate everything we have, or is it separate?
Separate. As you can see, that we haven't messed with the principal on the $3.5 million. Because we use those bond funds first.
okay, that's bonds. Three,
The $3.5 million is our money.
okay, but the 14 is bonds,
Right, we originally invested $16,120,000, and you can see how we've taken money out to pay bills, but we've
okay,
also
I see
earned
bonds
interest
there.
too. And the balance now is $14,845.
Okay, great. My question is, does this contain this also, amount? No, okay. The reason I'm asking, because that seeing 14 million was just concerning to me, because that wasn't where we should be in terms of bond
Right.
building. So I guess that's why I was questioning,
Okay.
and we would be way off what we need to do.
Yep.
Any questions? Item H is information item for the board.
Okay, so next week we'll have our quarterly report, and the person will present that to you. I'll be able to give you a better construction update next week. Tomorrow we have our OAC meeting. Lately, the weather has caused some delays. They were supposed to get started out there today. The end of last week, they spotted some of the foundation points where they would start digging and pouring concrete. Today, some of the rebar arrived, for the foundation, some pre-formed rebar. I'm not sure I'm unloading that, but we have an OAC meeting tomorrow. And so, I can give you an update next week about progress with that, but they do still expect to be pouring some foundations this week.
At least we can get out of our hats.
Try it. Start to see something. I'm still waiting to hear back about the information we requested about what's the process of changing to a full-time position for the manager of the library. And I hope to have more information for you Monday night. One day last week, Mr. Mathis and I met and had a conference call with the Georgia School Board Association about the strategic plan calendar. And his recommendation was similar to what we thought too, was that we will resume that soon after the new superintendent starts, and discuss possibly having a session, a breakout session of our own at GSBA conference to have just a little meeting with him and Jackson to go over the process with everyone in there. Three things here. We just found out recently that the strategic waiver process is being changed a little bit. It's time for everybody to renew. I think the state's getting caught up on some of that, so they have an information session last week that we participated in, and just sent us that on Friday, the follow-up documents that go along from that presentation. So the strategic waiver, it's time to renew ours too, so that process will begin shortly, and our team's on that, and we'll be informing you as we go about the progress of that. Next week I'll give you a timeline and all of some of the requirements of the deadlines that the state has. I received a request from the Fire Ant Festival about sponsorship. In the past, we've been a sponsor for the Fire Ant Festival. There's sponsorship at different levels of the Fire Ant Festival, and it can be $100, $250, $500, $1,000. I think it's different sponsorships for the Fire Festival. I just wanted to make sure that you want to continue to be the school system to be a sponsor for the Fire Festival. In particular level. In last year, we were at $100 level. And, so, we gave out a clue. We were one of the clues for the Find the Fire Ant contest, and received a sign for sponsor of the Fire Festival. Put out front.
But they use our land for it, for all that, and, something you should ask about, there's another question we always ask, I wonder, about electricity, it goes separate, it goes to them.
That's great. They've done some electrical upgrades recently, and doing some more, I think, for some of the electrical equipment there. That's billed to the Fire Festival. We let them use our facilities, for that too. And, starting something new this year, the, Miss Fire Ant pageant. So they'll be in the Civic Center. It's coming up.
It's bringing it back.
Bring it back, yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am. And so, and actually, I sent something out today advertising to student emails and employee emails about it.
So the fire, are we on this, the fire amount, we'll decide that.
Yeah, y'all can let me know
Let you
next
know.
week.
Okay.
And we'll, keep on it. And one good piece of information, another piece of good information is that the middle school is not on the promise list anymore. We've made significant enough gains to not be on the promise list, and we'll be telling you more about that in the quarterly report next week. Matter of fact, we don't have any school on any list, so I think, yeah, that's what we're happy about that. I think it's been a lot of work, you know, we have to have those support, meetings with state folks showing the district level support and what the school's doing, and we're excited about that, you know. And that, Mr. Bobby Smith came and met with us about CCRPI and all that, at our last principals meeting last week. And we discuss those every time Mr. Smith comes. I think we all learn something new about CCRPI. Just, and, you know, he said it is, if somebody comes off the list, that means somebody else goes on the list. And so, there's some other schools that, in our Greasy district, that have gone on the list, but we're very thankful that all ours are not on the list. That's all I have. Yes, sir.
At this time, we will enter into executive session regarding personnel and property.
Take a motion in executive session.